The new Chinese central banker is on a mission to de-dollarize. Cambridge studies the war against the Yuan and the BRICS. The People's Bank of China announced today, Saturday, July 1st, that Pan Gongsheng has been appointed to the position of the head of the Communist Party at the bank, replacing Guo Shuqing. So he's a Cambridge graduate, as we can see. China has $3 trillion in hidden reserves, according to U.S. officials. Gold, Switzerland, capitalism, long dead, citizens crushed by undeclared U.S.-China currency war. China has appointed an experienced Western-trained firefighter, quote-unquote, to lead the country's central bank, a move expected to provide some market certainty as Xi Jinping revises the principle of strict supervision of the financial sector. The People's Bank of China announced today, Saturday, July 1st, that Pan Gongsheng has been appointed to the post of Communist Party chief at the bank, replacing Guo Shuqing. The party representative at the central financial institution is the most powerful political position in the bank and may have more influence than the governor. Pan is also expected to be announced as the bank's next governor, replacing Yi Gang, who served in the position for more than 5 years. This choice of Pan will give some reassurance to the market about the continuity of choices by China's top central bank, said Chen Long, co-founder of Beijing-based research firm Plenum. Among all the possible candidates, he is the person who knows the market best. The monetary policy. Today, Saturday, July 1st, the bank announced that Guo and Yi had resigned from their roles in the party. The central bank reshuffle comes as a recovery after 3 years of the pandemic lockdown in the world's second largest economy needs to be balanced in the new environment. After an initial recovery of the first quarter, disappointing economic data in the second quarter, and a weakening economic outlook, expectations are building that Beijing will adopt additional monetary or fiscal stimulus to support growth. The renminbi, China's currency, is also trading near 7-month lows against the dollar as its internationalization drive is underway as part of the broader goal of de-dollarization. Pan is a household name in the international financial sector. He has served as deputy governor of the BRICS, the PBOC, the Bank of China, since 2012, a role that has seen him interact with media and Western financiers and his counterparts in financial regulators. Since 2016, he has simultaneously headed the Chinese Foreign Exchange Control Agency. Market views. How low can the Chinese yuan sink? Heavy resume. Pan completed his postdoctoral research at the University of Cambridge and was a senior fellow at Harvard. So he's also been trained in the United States. He also trained at UK-based Standard Chartered, according to the online profile, at the National Center for Financial Research at Peking University, where he is a research fellow. He also received PhD in economics from Renmin University of China. Over the past 3 decades, Pan's experience spans foreign exchange, bond and real estate financial regulations, the institutional framework of cryptocurrencies, and state banking reforms. His reputation as a financial risk firefighter was forged when he helped stem capital flight that had destabilized the financial system in the mid-2010s. However, Pan's appointment comes amid some market fears of the PBOC's reduced influence on monetary policy. Chen, a member of the CPC Plenum, added that his appointment was unlikely to lead to a major change in China's monetary policy, as the central bank has been weakened since Beijing overhauled the structure of its financial regulatory institutions in March. Xi, who is beginning his third 5-year term as president, in March established a new National Financial Supervisory Authority to oversee all financial activities except the securities industry. Under the new regulatory regime, the PBOC will lose some powers over financial holding companies, including Jack Ma's Ant Group, a new commission under the leadership of the Communist Party, the Central Economic committee was also created, strengthening Xi Jinping's direct control over the sector, experts pointed out. Bond Connect successfully launched the undeclared war against yuan internalization. The new central banker has considerable experience in the foreign exchange market and will play an important role in the context of the currency war being waged against the US dollar. As it is a fact that the Chinese currency has made significant progress in its internationalization, it has fallen in terms of its exchange rate against the US dollar. As it is a fact that the Chinese currency has made significant progress in its internalization. Earlier this week, the yuan even fell below 7.2 per dollar, a level not seen since late November 2022. The yuan's devaluation came after media reports that some foreign financial institutions were selling the yuan and buying dollars, putting increased downward pressure on the Chinese currency. While short-term fluctuations are justifiable and normal, the yuan cannot be undervalued in the long run. The triangular arbitrage, however, recent fluctuations remind stakeholders to keep a close eye on the speculative behavior of triangular arbitrage that poses a significant risk to financial stability. With the internationalization of the Chinese yuan, speculative demand for the Chinese currency should be curbed. Chinese monetary authorities point out as short-term speculation could only make the market more volatile. Triangular arbitrage is a process in which an investor can make a risk-free profit by exploiting the imbalance between three currency markets. By combining buy and sell agreements between the markets that exploit the above imbalance, a profit equal to the difference between the market prices is realized. The profitable arbitrage process will continue until the cost of buying the undervalued currency and selling the overvalued currency exceeds the difference in their price. In recent years, the trend towards what is described as de-dollarization has become increasingly evident. The BRICS alliance, although the US dollar will continue to be the primary reserve currency for the foreseeable future, economies around the world have realized the urgency of de-dollarization. Currently, a growing number of countries are considering or have converted from settling dollar payments to local currency payments. In this process, the percentage of enterprises using yuan for commercial transactions has increased. It then injects more liquidity into the global financial system as a means to meet growing demand for the yuan. More liquidity in the system means that the yuan's internalization trend is expected to gain momentum. As the market expands, a key issue on the agenda is to curb speculation and mitigate the impact of speculative moves on the yuan exchange rate. China resumes yuan support with stronger than expected fixing, BNN Bloomberg says. Now, the role of the Fed rate hikes. Starting March 2022, U.S. Federal Reserve officials have raised the central bank's benchmark interest rate 10 times in a row in an effort to fight inflation in the U.S. The U.S. interest rate hikes had a knock-on effect on the foreign exchange market, resulting in a relentless dollar rally and the devaluation of the currencies of many developing countries. A sharp devaluation of these currencies creates incentives for international investors to accumulate yuan, which is relatively stable against the dollar as Chinese authorities tightly control currency circulation. The problem is that if the yuan is sold against the dollar, large-scale selling will turn into bearish pressures, and in the process, the blow to the foreign exchange market is likely to be exacerbated by speculative behavior. What makes matters worse is the fact that the US dollar's position as a world reserve currency gives the US an economic power to impose economic sanctions on other countries, leading to exchange rate volatility and pressures on the currency supply and liquidity. Some media reports claim that dollar liquidity pressures prompted some global institutions to sell the yuan in exchange for the dollar, which further negatively affected the yuan supply and demand balance. In this context, it's normal to see short-term fluctuations of the yuan, but speculative movements and arbitrage should be avoided, which will help maintain the stability of the yuan and further promote its internalization. As countries around the world move away from using the dollar, the Chinese yuan is increasingly used in global trade. China's arsenal of FX support is ready as yuan permissiveness lingers, Bloomberg says. Now, the monetary bet, the main characteristic of the yuan is that it serves the real economy and bases its value on it. Adherence to this principle will effectively combat speculative movements from abroad. In addition, as developing countries promote greater use of local currencies in intra-regional trade and investment, it's necessary to strengthen industrial partnerships and supply chains among developing economies and increase the use of local currencies step by step. An extremely strong dollar and the decline of other currencies will, to some extent, increase the complexity of the issues related to the internalization of the yuan and the diversification of the international monetary system. It is precisely at such times that the international community should be most determined to work together to promote de-dollarization and build a credible multilateral international financial system. Here's a glorious field for the Chinese central banker. And this is from Banking News. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.